Welcome to Lights in the Night, the show that is exploring the unknown, one light at a time. Hosted by Russ Johnson, Dana Sardano, and Max Duckworth. We're talking UFOs, alien life, and the mysteries of the cosmos. Is anyone out there? We're looking for answers. Come join us. The lights are on and the night is calling. Lights in the night. It's time to shine a light on the darkness. Welcome to another episode of Lights in the Night. I'm Max Duckworth. I'm joined by Russ Johnson and Dana Sardano. And we have a few guests today. We are joined by Freddie Santori and a caller on the line, Gardenia. And so what are we going to be talking about today, guys?
Well, basically, we got to this planet somehow. You know, we were incarnated into this planet. And those who are really wise, like Bashar, Elizabeth, April, and others, have said that your spirit decided to make a contract to come to this planet at this time for disclosure, specifically. Those. And so the other kids, or children, if you will, who are the mix between aliens and human beings, and they called hybrid. There's a website called www.hybridchildrencommunity.com. You might want to go and see what they look like. But they've been coming here for many decades, centuries, and they were coming in big numbers to hang out with us. I think that Gardenia somehow knows something about all of that, and I wanted her to bring her to the microphone to tell us about the children and how they get here, and why are they here, and what happens, and all the feelings involved. So, without further ado, did you want to comment on the children here, the indigos?
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar, and I'm dying to hear what she has to say.
Okay.
So, let's do this.
Okay, let's do it. Gardenia, thank you very much for calling in to Lights in the Night, and I'm glad that you're on the air. Help us with your experiences with other beings kind of joining us and seeing what's happening to bring us all together.
Well, the pleasure is all mine, and I appreciate being invited. I will start with the experience that I had some years ago. It's quite an intimate experience, and I wasn't really comfortable even talking about it to anyone. And I was in a jungle because of some weather conditions that blew away everybody's home. And I was in a shelter waiting until planes and everything would be available for us to fly out. And it actually took 25 months. And during those 25 months, I had an amazing experience. It was something way beyond anything that I had ever experienced on this planet. And my purpose actually is to reveal, this is disclosure, what happened to me. Finally, at last, I was shy about it. I talked to a friend. I said, have you ever heard of this? And she said no. She had been living on the island for years, but she has someone she trusts that she asked, and they said that the experience I had is not uncommon. And what it is when you're in nature, especially for an extended period, some being that I didn't see, I couldn't tangibly hold the being's hand, but some beings seemed to laser emanate an incredible pleasure throughout my body.
Go on.
Especially focused on the certain area of reproduction. Now, I have no way to describe it. You take every greatest pleasure on this planet and you multiply it geometrically by trillions, and it doesn't even come close to this. I was out of breath. I was feeling like I was floating. I didn't know what was going on. I loved it. Of course I loved it, but had never heard of anything like this, and I didn't know what to think, but it was a prolonged, rapturous ecstasy.
Gardenia, can I just stop you just for a second?
Of course, at any time.
I got questions. Firstly,
Go for it.
You said you were in nature, but
Yes.
I just have to rule this out. There were no psychedelics or anything involved. You were just hanging out in the jungle, correct?
That's a good question. I don't want to tell too much of my background, but I was a convent girl, and I've lived as a goody two-shoes all my life. I've never smoked or drank or done psychedelics or done anything. I haven't even had a baby aspirin in 50 years.
Okay.
So rule that out.
Okay. The reason I asked
Now,
is, I'm sorry.
Yes.
The reason I ask is I have a friend who was a mushroom practitioner, and she had a similar experience where she felt it's basically what you're describing. That's why I chimed in. Were you able to? You said they weren't tangible. Were you able to see this being?
No, and I think it was only one. It was just an energetic sensation, and I don't know anything about mushrooms, but if she had that, I doubt if it was involving some out of, let's call it out of this dimension into a different realm. But who knows? I don't know about her experience. I only know my experience, that I was feeling like I am so lucky to experience this at this moment. And if I never have any great pleasure again, I'm so happy with this. However, once I told my friend about it, who had never heard about it, and said that, and by the way, to my knowledge, there are no mushrooms. It's a very small island. There's only 800 people. I don't think they have any psychedelics, and that I know of, at least not by my own experience. When I told my friend about it, it was like I opened a door to her understanding that something like this happens on this particular island. And she had the experience, and we compared notes. She reported to me and said, oh my God, nothing. And she's been married twice. I've never been married. And she's been married twice, and said, put all the ecstasy I've ever known in both of my very happy marriages, and you cannot multiply it to a power great enough to understand and experience this kind of rapturous euphoria, bliss. Unbelievable.
So you liked it?
Well, every time I think about it, it's with me. Every time I can still feel it. It's almost like, no, there's no tangible, but the memory of it still seems to pulsate like beautiful, sweet electrical charges through my body. And the reason I finally felt I had to come out with this is when my friend had the experience, she, through the years, has advised that other people should be aware of it. Okay, you are aware of the mushroom experience with your friend, and okay, they're aware of that, but has anybody been in nature without any kind of substance, just lying in a little shelter on the sand in a sleeping bag, and wake up, wide awake, sit up, and for a very long time, just be pulsating with pleasure, inconceivable on this planet.
Interesting topic.
So,
what can I say? Are those skills transferable to us? To Freddie and I.
I want
wish
to know
I
what Freddie
could,
thinks about this.
Earth-shattering.
but I have a question, because I first of all, I want to know where this jungle is, but we could get the details at another time. But as far as the hybrids,
Okay, well, first of all, let me answer the question in a moment, but first let me do a little, precursor, which is, since I decided to come out with this, and I shared it with another friend in Sweden, she, the very next night, had the experience. And that's why I said, I've got to get this out. I want more people feeling this. At this time in our Earth plane, which gives me an understanding of why I didn't do it sooner, it's time to bring some joy and pleasure to the planet. Now, both of these women are married. One is a grandmother, and they don't want their name And the people on this island do not want the island publicized. And out of respect to them, from the throngs of people going there out in the jungle and waiting for it to happen, I cannot divulge that, and I cannot divulge the names of the people. And that's why I'm sure you're aware, Gardenia is not my real name, but I do live in a community, in a home for the last 26 years, and I really don't want to be recognized.
That's
okay,
really
but I will answer any other questions except the ones that have been requested of me to keep confidential.
Right. Any comment from anybody here about what's going on? Okay. We know that in the Bible it talks about aliens intermingling with human beings and having children. I mean, for many decades, many centuries.
Okay.
A lot of people are born or abducted and are on the breeding program, the seeding program.
Yes.
To seed other planets
Yes.
in the universe. So those people who have been abducted, many of them can't remember, but that's another program that we talk about that SSP, Secret Space Force, has a lot of information on. Do you have any comments about that whole?
Yeah, I actually have questions.
Right.
Because we were talking before we went on camera about how our souls, how we choose this, the stars specifically, and come in to be a part of Earth's evolution. But I never understood the logistics of the hybrids. I get that they're incubated, right, off, like in a different dimension or off planet.
But, yeah.
These babies, are they inseminated into the mother and the mother gives birth?
Mm-hmm.
Or the baby isn't?
That's one.
That's how give me the logistics, because I'm really curious about this.
There are about 3 or 4 ways that's done. One, the male, the female can be not know each other and be abducted.
Yeah.
And meet on a spaceship.
Okay.
And have that relationship.
Yeah.
And the baby is born after that.
The baby is born in space.
Yes.
And so, but how does the baby get here? Or it doesn't? It goes somewhere else.
No, most of them, but some of them stay on the spaceship and are raised, and then they are sent here to do work.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And that's easily done because abduction is easy.
Yeah, and even showing up half grown makes sense, because they just show up and then they live here. But I'm talking about the baby. When the baby's inseminated, is it inseminated into the woman? And
yes.
then the woman has the baby. That makes the most sense.
Right.
Okay.
And then some of them come to the planet then, or sent to the planet to operate among us, right?
It's part of our evolution.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. There's a motion picture called Taken. I don't know what you said. It's a 13-hour miniseries that Steven Spielberg did about 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. 13 hours. And it explains all of that, and you should watch that. Taken. You can always go to, Google it. Some of it is there, but you can always get it from Amazon. 13 hours. I would recommend. 98% of that information there is true. And I got that confirmation from a lot of people who are really involved in this whole process called seeding the planet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
How is it that everybody has a different, what's the word I'm looking for?
Take?
Everybody is at a different place. You meet her, I meet you, I meet her, the guest on the phone. Everybody has a different, and at the end of the day, is all of this supposed to be put together to get an explanation?
Because look, how many planets in the universe?
God only knows.
Oh, okay, trillions, billions, or maybe a multiple
whatever,
trillions.
yeah.
That's how many ideas about what we are talking about.
But why this planet? Is it because we're
on
on
it?
it?
This is an experimental planet. This is called the prison planet.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Dana, what do you think? The prison planet?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
you.
Talk about it.
No, you put the face. I want to know what that face means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of gave like like I think everybody's perspective is, because we all have a unique perspective,
Sure.
and it's our reality, and I think I could see why it would be considered a prison planet, because the karma here and what people have to overcome here. But I also think that it's vibrational. So for some people, it's not a prison planet. So I think that I think it's almost like a school like a
It is.
playground, a school.
It is.
It's
It
how
is.
you.
It
so
is.
to this person, it could be a playground because they're enjoying their learning and their experiences.
Okay.
And to this person, it's a prison because their experiences
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's.
I
that's
agree
what's
with
basically-
you. I
You agree with me?
100% agree with you. I 100%. The joys that we experience, which I believe come from our quantum field, and that anyone at any time can begin to change and construct the quantum field to turn this planet into pure ecstasy and joy and comfort, and all the karma and all of the other stuff, I believe is greatly influenced by a person's way of thinking, the choices they make. And there are all these different parallel realities, not only on the planet, but in every dimension around this planet, that I believe we are truly the sovereign masters of our lives. And if you think about it for a moment, every single positive energy that you would like to experience, every single happy moment or wish that you would like fulfilled is already in everybody's imagination. Einstein said, imagination is greater than knowledge. So when we use our imagination correctly, we create in our vortex, we create in our frequency, because Einstein also said, everything is energy and you cannot get away from that. Create in the frequency of your being what you would love, and you have to experience it. This is not philosophy, folks. This is physics. End of quote.
I got a question then. What if in this planet there are 5 different lives, 5 different frequencies, all occurring at the same time? You're on one, you're on another one, you're on another one. She, me, we're all on different frequencies, trying to get to the next level. Now you can skip by taking substances, or you ever seen like Sarah Spiritual is able to see things? Why is it that she can do the things that she does? And she is dead on. She'll tell you exactly what's going on. I think you went through this.
I talked to her last Wednesday, and we had a minute left on her show, and she just told me all about my life.
And
Oh,
she
is that
has
who
the
did it?
able
Sarah
to do that.
Spiritual.
Is
So
that right?
5
Yes.
frequencies,
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
and
Yeah.
you're on a different frequency. And
Yeah.
it's funny because the ones that can see it,
That's great.
they see the differences. So let's say you're in
bring 'em
number
back.
4 for
Yeah.
argument's sake. You come in here and it lights everybody up.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's been marching this show for 14, 15 years. Why is that? Max is the inquisitive one. I want to learn more. So she's the other frequency that's learning to see.
Yeah.
I think it's 5 things going on at the same time.
It could be 50 things.
Could be.
Could be 500 things. I mean, there's so many. And Gardena, let's talk about how many vibratory energies out there that people could be operating on, like Bashar, like Elizabeth April, like Stephen Greer. Let's talk about that just a bit.
Well, I absolutely love Bashar, too, and have been following him at least 21 years. And in response to the question regarding everyone's unique perspective, my understanding is, hey, look, we all have different fingerprints, and you've heard this. We all have different retinal readings, different vibratory rates in the way we speak. We are all unique. We all have extremely unique paths. My overall picture is the God force, source, universe, the light. We cannot come with the name, so we'll just say the God force.
Gardenia. Let me take a break here for just a quick second. This is don't know.
But I am picking up what you're putting down.
Absolutely.
Perfect place to pick up.
Yeah. Let's take a break, just a couple seconds here, and we come right back. And I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.
Lights in the Night is brought to you by Super Patch, revolutionizing wellness through cutting-edge neurotech patches that help you feel, move, and live better. Whether you're seeking improved balance, energy, or overall well-being, Super Patch has a solution for you. For more information, call 561-302-2588 or visit us online at ufo.superpatch.com. Take the first step to a better you with Superpatch.
We're back, and the night is getting darker.
The lights are still on, and the truth is waiting. Stick with us.
More mysteries, more lights in the night.
Welcome back to Lights in the Night. We have Gardenia on the line, and we have some really interesting topics. So let's pick up where we left off.
Yeah. Well,
May I continue?
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay. There was a question about everybody has a different view. I think that is very normal and natural. Everyone has their own perspective. We all have our own way of thinking. We have our reasons for being here on our own paths. From a broader picture, whatever we want to call that we are extensions, expressions, and personifications of the ultimate light, that is eternal. And in the face of all eternity, all of these, like you said, 5 dimensions, why is one able to see beyond one? Well, because all of these are soirees. These are wonderful scenarios that the eternal one gets to experience and wants to experience. And what better way to fill up eternity than with all these different possibilities?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
can I say?
I agree.
And
I agree.
For me, the only breath that counts is this one and the next one that you're breathing. The only reality is right here, right now. What do you want to feel? Where do you want to be focusing on? All the power we possess is poured in whatever we're talking about, thinking about, or feeling in any moment. Where do you want to pour your power? And all these people are deciding to pour their power in what they feel like, which is in different 5 dimensions or different perspectives.
Let me ask you, have you ever met any of the hybrids that you've identified? I mean, there are people who have met some and they've identified them.
No, I've never.
Okay.
No,
okay,
I've been
okay.
to 40 different countries
Now,
and I've looked, but I've never found any.
okay,
Now, on
see-
Mount Shasta,
Go ahead.
yeah, on Mount Shasta, I saw a lot of UFOs, very odd shaped. One was like a massive green cigar in a fluorescent green that no earth color could come up with. And we were sitting around a campfire and we all saw it and we were speechless, but we all nodded that we did see it and we described it. So I've seen it, but there weren't any people coming out of it to talk to us.
Not yet.
Not yet. The closest was in the shelter, and if you want to call it talk, it was like pillow talk or whatever you want to say, and I couldn't see or feel anything. And there was light because there was starlight, there was moonlight, but there were no people, there was no entity that I could define in a humanoid form or whatever.
Okay, since it was 100x or more than 10x of your experiences here on this planet, is that transferable? Is that teachable, the skills that Anthony had? Do you know? Yes or no?
Here's what I would say, okay? Anything is possible, number one.
Right.
Number two is, if a particular person wanted to, say, have the ability to give that kind of amazing euphoria to someone, then the first thing they would have to do is put in their vortex the possibility. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come out with this story. I wanted people to be aware that they could put into their frequency the possibility of having this kind of pleasure and giving the pleasure. So let's say the person wants to be a giver of this ecstasy. Then the first thing I would say is begin to focus on internally, you have the ability. You know you can do it. You start to feel it and think of it and begin to put all of the power we possess is poured in whatever we're thinking about. So you're thinking about that. The next thing I would say is to imagine you already have it. As though you have concocted in your mind a scene where you have it and you are able to give this kind of pleasure. And the third thing I would say is to make it as though it is a memory. It is a tangible memory that you have it, you've given the pleasure, and it has already happened.
Yes, as I said, As a Man Thinketh, the book that was written in 1903 by Allen, he says, mind is the master power that molds and makes, and evermore you take the tool of thought and shaping as you will. You bring forth 1,000 joys or 1,000 ills. And so here we are.
Here we are. John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and in the Word was God, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt amongst us. So that's why I'm speaking the word of let's be happy in this moment. Let's take a deep breath and know that's the only breath that counts.
So basically, all the people talk about the positive principles of self-development, be it John Maxwell, Les Brown, Mark Victor Hansen, Bob Proctor. They talk all about that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve. And of course, that's in the Bible.
What do you guys have, real quickly, because there are a couple of minutes. Each one of you has a calling. Okay. What do you want this show to do? Because this is a great example on the phone. Right. What do you want this show to do? How do you want to inform the public?
Go ahead.
You know, my feeling is, and what Gardenia is talking about, it could be considered not about extraterrestrials, not about disclosure, but really what I want the public to know is it is all energy, it is all connected, and whether you're talking about angels, demons, extraterrestrials, light beings, fairies, it is all the same thing. And when we open our minds and understand that not only are we the creators of our reality, but we can clear our channels and connect with all of it, then our lives will become more fulfilling and fruitful. That's what I want the people to know.
I agree. Whoever it was, I call it the angel of pleasure. My friend and I call it cosmic Casanova. Whoever it was isn't important. What is important is we begin to embrace our true power, just as you said, and call into our lives exactly what we would love.
Yes.
And Max, what do you think?
I mean, I'm really want to help I like the student and ask the questions that people out there are asking, but also just remind people to be open-minded. And the more we learn, the less we know. And I understand media has been a little bit difficult to trust, and so these personal, direct experiences are what are really valuable to me.
Yeah, well said.
But it is. But we are the media. So
well, we're now, like, as in media, I'm talking about the old school types of,
well,
you
that's
know.
ABC, CBS,
right.
NBC, and that Black Rock and Vanguard and State Street Control.
It's the comedy channel.
Right. So, but we have to take over the media. We have to become the media. All of us have. You have a podcast. She has a podcast. Anybody else out there need to get their own podcast. And right here at AMP TV is the place to be.
Well, I think it takes a lot of courage to step forward to do what you're doing, to do what everybody in here is doing.
Yeah, this is a teacher.
And maybe we can get Gardenia to bring in more people that she knows, other people, and you have 5 or 6 people, either in studio or online, to have the conversations, because within one, there's 2, and when there's 2, there's growth.
Right.
And so I got to give Max a lot of credit, because she doesn't know and she's learning, but she's eager to ask. Sometimes you got to be brave to be able to ask the questions.
Yeah, but we all are students. I mean, everybody.
All of us are students.
I just got here on this planet, so I'm a student.
Yeah, right. I've been your student for about
15
years.
You got 30 seconds. Wrap it up. Do a 30-second. What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I think, Gardenia, I want to thank you for sharing your experience.
Oh, my
Freddie makes a really good point that, it takes a lot of courage, and I get why you would want to remain anonymous. I, myself, and I'll try to be as quick as possible, am just now coming out with things that I would never have spoken about before, because now is the time. So pleasure meeting you through a phone, through a camera.
Pleasure.
And here's to more experiences in the jungle.
Well, this is UFO 101.
Yes.
And we're glad to have you, and thank you very much for sharing your experiences and time and effort. I really appreciate you being on the show. You want to close it out for us?
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you, Gardenia, also, and thanks, Freddie, for joining us. And thanks for another episode of Lights in the Night.
Next week, same time, same place, same station. And thank you, Gardenia. I appreciate you being here. Freddie, thanks. Okay.
The lights are fading, but the mystery remains.
Join us next time on Lights in the Night. Same time, same darkness.
Until then, keep looking up.
The night is watching.
Lights in the night, where the